Hi, I'm Rochelle Dixon, and I am a community chef with Zinger Farms. What I've been doing is helping folks understand how to cook the vegetables and the produce that are in the CSA program and the prescription program. So I'm very excited to show you one of those dishes today that's very healthful. It's a vegan dish and it's gluten-free, so most people can eat this. So we're going to start by cooking the polenta. And polenta, if you're not familiar with it, is cornmeal. So we're going to take the cornmeal, and what we're going to do for this cornmeal is there's directions on the back of it, and it's really simple. So you're going to take the polenta and you're going to add it to water, but you don't want to add it all in at one time. That's how you get a lot of lumps. So what you're going to do is take a spoon and sprinkle it on the water. And as you do that, it won't make lumps. And then you're just simply going to stir it. Your temperature on your stove may vary, so what you're looking for is texture. You're looking for something that's kind of like oatmeal. It will thicken up as it goes along. Next, we're going to roast some vegetables to put on the polenta and make a red sauce, which is filled with tomatoes and also red peppers. So that's what we're going to do now. So we want to cut our vegetables so that they're even pieces, so approximately the same size, and that way they'll cook evenly. Also, different vegetables cook differently. This doesn't have as much water content as this zucchini. So I'm going to start cooking the carrots first, put them in the oven for a little bit, let them start with a little olive oil and salt, and then at last add the zucchini. Why? Because I want that texture. I want you to look at the meal and be able to see what you're eating. It's not a dish that should be mushy. So there's going to be some texture in this zucchini purposefully, and so I'm going to put that in last. I'm going to cook the vegetables, roast them for about 10 minutes with the butternut squash here. Everything else takes about 10 minutes. So between 6 and 8 years ago, I came out here to Zinger Farms, and when I came out here, I was like, oh, I don't live too far away. I like this space, and so I came out multiple times. And then eventually I wanted to understand what was going on at Zinger Farms, especially how it related to training farmers of color. So I wanted to talk with the farmers, and I said, hey, how many black individuals, how many indigenous individuals do you have that you're training? And they're like, oh, we're training like one indigenous person. I don't know if we have any black person. I said, okay, let's talk about that. And I explained to them why I wanted to see something different. And so they chatted with me a little bit and suggested I talk to some other folks here, and I did. And eventually it became an ongoing conversation, and they took steps to actually remediate the situation that there just weren't enough farmers in the program, and they expanded their program and included more indigenous people and more black people, more people of color, and it's been wonderful ever since. So here's a wonderful eggplant. We're familiar with this eggplant. It's one most commonly held in the store. If you're trying to feed 4 people, this eggplant will definitely get you through a family meal of 4 to 6, maybe even some leftovers. So one of the things about eggplant is it leaches water. Depending on the dish you're cooking, it could water the flavor down. So what we typically do with the eggplant is we slice it up and we salt it, okay? And we salt it. Let that sit. Let that sit. If you have an hour, let it sit an hour. And that way, when you roast the vegetables, the eggplant won't be so watery. Wonderful that we can share food and share culture and the stories that go along with the food, the recipes. There's a dish that I make that is a Haitian soup, which was actually illegal for Haitians to have, a pumpkin soup. So I make that on January 1st. But there's always a story behind the food, and it's nice to share those stories, share that culture. So that's what I like best. So what we're going to do with the polenta after we cooked it is we're going to let it chill. And we're going to let it chill because we're going to slice it. We're going to slice it in squares. You could do it in circles with a cookie cutter. In fact, you could do it with any shape, but I'm going to do it in squares because it's really easy. We're going to fan those out across the plate, and then we're going to add our roast vegetables and our sauce, and it's going to be so amazing. I think you can cross cultural boundaries, economic boundaries, language barriers with food. I've completely connected with people in ways unimaginable with food. I think that's the best gift of being able to share the food with folks and to eat it in a community.